Welcome to IA Whitey and welcome to Comic Fights. This week we have a bit of a one-sided fight, but it might be fun to debate how this could play out. So here's the scenario. We've got Etrigan the Demon versus Doctor Strange. So here's the scenario. Jason Blood, who is the man that is forever connected to the demon Etrigan, finds himself in the United Kingdom. But this isn't quite the way he remembers it. Jason Blood, if you don't know, is connected to this demon Etrigan, who this instability, this confusion, causes the demon to come forth. You know, he's confused, angry, thinks this might be an illusion, who's doing this. People obviously freak out. So the Marvel universe that he's now in, people are losing it. There's a demon here, so of course, who do they call to take him out? Doctor Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme, the person in charge of stopping threats like this. Doctor Strange gets there, sees that there's now a demon, and acts. So now we have this fight. We've got a raging demon, Etrigan, versus the Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange. So now we're going to talk about what they can do and how this might play out. So let's start with Etrigan. Etrigan was a demon that served Lucifer. And he sought to overthrow Lucifer, but he failed. So he was banished to Earth and banished to forever dwell inside Jason Blood. And Jason could say a series of words, it doesn't really matter here, to release the demon. So he is very old, originally evil, though he's taken some anti-hero-like stances, but he is very old in demon years. So physically, he's incredibly powerful. He can go up against some of DC's heaviest hitters. He's durable, he can withstand a lot of pain, and he actually enjoys the pain. So however much he gets hurt, he relishes in that. In addition to strength, he also has claws, fangs. He can spew hellfire from his mouth. And this magic burns. And so he's even been, he's used it against heroes like Superman, that, maybe is stronger than Etrigan, but magic is his weakness, and so Hellfire does a lot of damage. But Etrigan is more than just this brawler, this physical force. He's also very powerful magically. He's been shown to do all sorts of spells. He knows them, he understands them, he can pull them off. He does a lot that's elemental based, and so fire and air and moving the earth and, doing things like that. He can teleport, he can kind of shapeshift and create illusions. In this scenario, he might have an advantage because he can summon other demons that are weaker than him. So he can kind of summon little armies forth. He can raise the dead. So Etrigan in this fight may not be only Etrigan. In addition to what he can do naturally, he also has an extensive knowledge of artifacts, tomes, books that he can use in this fight. In terms of Etrigan's weaknesses, since he is a demon, he has weaknesses to religious artifacts, holy water, stuff like that kind of throws him off, weakens him a little bit. He's also been shown to be weaker to magic that's stronger than him. So, for example, Merlin was able to contain him because Merlin was stronger. So this is where Doctor Strange might have the advantage. If the Sorcerer Supreme is truly more powerful than Etrigan, Etrigan may not be able to overpower him, at least magically. So let's talk about what Doctor Strange can do. This will be relatively short because people are a little more familiar with Doctor Strange. Also, Doctor Strange relies on research and artifacts to do what he needs to do. So the list of what he can do is huge because he has access to libraries full of these artifacts. So a lot that he's been shown doing is magic blasts, teleporting, astral projection, telepathy, basic elemental stuff like Etrigan can do. Defensively, he has to use shields to protect himself because he is just a man. Etrigan can go up against Superman, but Doctor Strange, if his magical protections fail, he is just a guy with the same weaknesses that any guy would have. And while Etrigan is thousands of years old, Doctor Strange is not inexperienced. He has fought many demons, he's banished them, he's defeated them. But in those cases, he's able to learn, or maybe even has knowledge about those demons, where here, he is on the spot trying to learn who Etrigan is and what his weaknesses are. so he might need longer to figure out how to defeat Etrigan. Doctor Strange also relies on gestures and incantations to do a lot of these spells. So if Etrigan is able to, incapacitate him, capture him, tie him up, do something that stops him from pulling off those spells, again, he is basically powerless. So our situation here is this is Doctor Strange's fight to lose. With the amount of what he can do and the knowledge that he has, he can defeat Etrigan. But is there the possibility that Etrigan can defeat Doctor Strange? So I want you to pull out any knowledge that you have and think about, well, Etrigan did this. Well, Doctor Strange did this. What are the feats that make them capable here? Who has Doctor Strange defeated that is similar to Etrigan? And would those same tactics work? Who has Etrigan defeated that might be magical based that might be a similar fight to Doctor Strange? So what would happen here? I want you to sound off in the comments, and next week we'll shout out the coolest, most interesting answer. Which leads us to, while this is happening, we've got a fight rumbling in the city of Atlantis. We have two rulers of Atlantis fighting over the throne, because why is the other one here? So we have Aquaman versus Namor. Now this is interesting because Namor has an advantage in a couple situations. Aquaman has an advantage in a couple other situations. So some folks came out and supported Namor and said he can probably be stronger outside of water, his ability to fly. He might be able to lure Aquaman out, weaken him, and defeat him. But there's something about Aquaman that I maybe underestimated or didn't really understand. I'm not a huge Aquaman fan. He is incredibly powerful telepathically. That it's more than just talking to sea life. That he can basically tap into our evolution, and we are kind of all tied to that, and he's able to then impact people like Namor telepathically. So we found some interesting examples. Some people brought up really good ones, but here's a concise comment from Moonshine. I believe Aquaman takes the win. A lot of people forget that Aquaman has insane mental abilities. He can kill you with just a thought. Not sure how Namor is mentally, but he may be controlled because he's considered an aqua life, which Aquaman can control marine life. If I'm correct, Namor can't control marine life without the trident. Aquaman for the win because of his strong mental ability. I'm not so sure about Namor's reliance on the trident. That may be true, but I think regardless, I think Aquaman has shown. We've got some situations here where we faced off against Despero, some other villains where he uses telepathy not just to control marine life, but as a physical force against other people, which I think might give him this advantage against Namor. Namor maybe can play the evasive game, maybe try to lure him out, but I don't think Namor can compete with the telepathic abilities of Aquaman. So the more you know, Aquaman's kind of a badass. So that is it for this week. Give me more suggestions. We'll see you next Friday for another Comic Fights.